Hello everybody and welcome back to the Fluval Evo 13.5 aquarium. So some of you may remember that I'd say about 2 years ago, I set up this exact tank as a saltwater tank, run it for about a year, and I just run stock light, just really cheap equipment on it. It didn't really cost me that much at all, and it ended up looking really nice. And I've decided to set it back up again on the same stand that I had my previous tank on. So it's the Aqua One Mini Reef 90 cabinet. So yeah, I've got it set up, got the light on it. I'm not going to be running a lid on this. I've took on the lid off. Around the rim of the Fluval Evo comes with a little honeycomb design all the way around the rim. I scratched all that off with the little blade. So it looks really nice, like the nice rimless look. I've got some rock in it, as you can see. I've already done escape. Literally took me about 2 to 3 minutes. This is the same rock that I had in my previous tank. It's been outside in the garden for about a week, and we've had a bit of rain recently, so it's all been washed out, and then it's been really sunny the past couple of days, so it's been dried out nicely, and then I've decided to put it all in. Literally just put a few pieces of rock together, and it's as you can see, it looks really good. I think it looks really good. So it's just literally, I think it's just 3 pieces of rock. So you've got one piece, which is all this big bulk in the middle is one piece. That is one piece, and then that bit at the bottom there, that little banana shaped one, that's one piece at the bottom there. I've put all the equipment from my previous tank onto this system. So as you can see, the light, I've got the auto top off, which is ready to go in the corner. Temp controller up there. The heater is in this second chamber down there. The thermostat's down there. And then I've got some biological in here. That's the same type of biological that I had in my previous tank, but obviously it's not the exact same one. I've got some fresh pieces out that have never been used before. And I've got quite a bit in that. I've got about 5 big towels. If I show you through the side of the tank, you can see they're these just tall towers. They're really good. They're called Mountain Tree. Yeah, so there's 5 of them in there. And then return pump wise, we got the exact same return pump that we run on this tank a couple of years ago, which is a Eheim Compact 600. That's 600 litres an hour. There's no sand in this tank yet, not yet, because I'm not going to have sand in this tank. This is going to be my first ever bare bottom reef tank. The plan is to try and get a nice coralline algae bottom, so the whole bottom of the tank will be nice and purple with the coralline algae. Same thing with the back wall as well, which isn't glass, that's just a plastic rear chambers, which I'll show you now. So the water overflows the top there, then it will come down through some biological. I'll probably have a sponge around this area, especially at the start of the tank. I'll probably add a sponge in as well, and then it goes through the grates through the side into this chamber, which is more biological, and the heater, so that's where the water gets heated. And then the final chamber, you've just got a little return pump at the bottom, which I can run some carbon if I wanted to in that last chamber, but I probably won't. But if the water gets cloudy, yeah, I'll add some carbon or some rough or something like that. But I will probably add a sponge in here, nice thin sponge up here, so the water comes down, goes onto the sponge, just to keep the tank nice and clean. Since this tank is open top, there's not a lid, and I don't plan on having any kind of glass lid or net cover, anything like that. I just want it completely 100% open top. So that obviously limits me to the types of fish I could have. I mean, a pair of clownfish would be perfect if it had a lid. I did have 2 clownfish in here when I previously had this set up. I also had a little sapphire damselfish in here. Which jumped actually twice, and actually ended up to get into that second chamber twice in the year that I had that fish. So that proves that those damsels can jump, but I never really saw the clownfish jump. But I don't really want to risk it with clownfish. I want to make sure if I'm having a fish, make sure it can't jump. So since the tank's only It's 52 litres, but in the display you're looking at about 40 litres, which really isn't that much. So you're limited to only like 2 or 3 different species of fish, and then you've got to make sure it doesn't jump. The type of scape it is, there's not loads of hiding spaces. I wanted to try and create it so it gives off loads of ways I can place coral, so there's loads of places to put coral here, and there's loads of space around them for growth as well. So the plan is, I've looked at literally every fish species out there, and I really can't find anything suitable for this kind of tank, unless I put a lid on it, which I'm not doing, because I want it completely open top. I want a really nice, clean, open top look. So I'm not actually going to be having any fish in this tank, I don't think, because I really can't find anything that isn't going to jump and that can go in a small system. So I think I'm just going to have I'm going to have a shrimp, maybe some kind of cleaner shrimp or fire shrimp, boxer shrimp maybe. I'll have a look, see what's out there. But I think I really kind of like the blood red fire shrimps, because I had one in this tank when I ran it a couple of years ago, and I really love that little shrimp. So I'll probably have one of them, or maybe 2 of them maybe, and then get some crabs and some little hermit crabs, obviously have some snails. So it'd be really low bioload. But yeah, that's the plan. I can't really have any fish in here because there's nothing that isn't going to jump and that can have that can stay in a really small tank like this. So this is going to be a really exciting build. I'm excited to put water in it, which will be, well, maybe in the next video on this tank, we should have water in it, and then it should start to be cycling. And getting onto the cycling process, what most people do is they put water in it and then get some biological in the filter or the sump, or whatever they're running. They let it cycle over the course of, it might be a week, or it could be a few months. My dad's had a couple of tanks that do take quite a while to cycle, so sometimes it can be a really long process, and I can't be arsed with all that waiting forever. So what I did run on this tank, and my dad ran it as well, is Red Sea's Reef Mature Kit, which allows the tank to cycle in less than 7 days, which is really quick. And the 2 tanks we run Red Sea's Reef Mature Kit on both did really well. One of the tanks was this tank, and this tank, when I run it, it looked really good. Give it 6 months, this tank looked really well, and I had no issues with it whatsoever. Same thing with my dad, he used it on his Red Sea Max Nano, and that tank again, not really any issues at all, and it looked absolutely amazing within 6 months. So I think maybe that Red Sea's Reef Mature Kit could be the way to go. I think it would give us a good head start with this tank, and then we can start adding some coral really soon. That means we can get this tank cycled quick. So I think I'm going to leave this video here. Thank you all very much for watching this video. For next week, I might do a video on my planted system behind me, because I do have a few more things added to that tank that I'd like to show you. And then the video after that will be another video on this tank, where, fingers crossed, we should have some water in it, possibly cycling. So again, thank you all very much for watching, and I'll catch you very soon. Bye.